Hello and welcome to Human Growth and Development. I'm Dr. Shell and I wanted to start by giving you an overview of the class and kind of guiding you through our Moodle page and to get you on the right track. So I'm going to share what our Moodle page looks like. To start with, this is the Moodle page. It's organized by week, but the first section covers all the basics of what you'll need throughout the semester. So you'll definitely want to come back and check with this frequently. I've got my contact information. If you can't contact me, I've got this help forum for question and answers among students. So I encourage you to ask and answer questions here, and I will give you extra credit for participating in this forum, either by asking or answering questions. You'll also have a final project for this class, and all the information you need for that is here under final project information and files. And I will go over that as we get closer to it. Another really important document here is the course syllabus. So you need to make sure that you read and review that carefully. I encourage you to save and print it out and always have a copy on hand. So this is what it looks like. I've got my contact information here. Email is the best way to contact me, but I also have Zoom office hours if you want to meet virtually, and I've got instructions down there. I'll respond to emails within 24 hours, but I may not check them at all on weekends. So be aware that most of your assignments are due on Sunday nights. If you wait until Saturday to email me, I won't necessarily be able to help you. So please make sure to look at the assignments and start doing your work during the previous week so you have time to contact me if you have questions. I've also got the course description and course goals here. The newest edition of the textbook is a 6th edition, but I don't have a problem with you using the 5th edition, although there may be differences in page numbers, so just be aware of that. Because this is an online course, it's particularly important that you do have the textbook, which is going to be where you get most of your information. This class is entirely online, so it's also essential that you have access to the internet, and you'll need your iPad or some other device to connect. Note that I recommend using an internet browser and not the Moodle app to connect to the course because the app evidently has a number of accessibility issues. I've also got information about how to connect to me via email and Zoom. I'll also use Remind to send you information. So I strongly suggest that you sign up for those. I also recommend, if you don't already have it, getting this free access to Microsoft Office. Okay. We've got a lot of material to cover, and because this is an online course, you're expected to do this independently. But remember that you should plan to spend roughly the equivalent time on this class as your face-to-face classes, so at least 3 hours per week of class time plus additional outside time for readings outside of class. There are 3 big things that you can do to kind of help keep up. The first is stay on top of the material, read the textbook and review the PowerPoints and other material, and do those things earlier in the week and do them often. Next, do the discussion forum assignments. These are designed to help you understand the material, so please be sure you do them for your own benefit as well as for your grade. And then finally, ask questions. You can ask me questions earlier in the week, or if you have questions later on, you can try the help forum. Okay. There is a course syllabus, a syllabus quiz, which is mandatory. So you need to take that just to make sure that we are all on the same page with what is expected. And then in terms of grading, you've got your discussion forum assignments, which are worth 35% of your grade. You'll need to post the initial response to the discussion forum for the week by Thursday at 11:55 p.m. And this allows your peers time to read your post and respond to it. Your forum post should be a minimum of 6 to 8 sentences, and many of the prompts have multiple questions, so be sure you answer them all. By Sunday night at 11:55 p.m., you will need to respond to at least 2 classmates' posts. And these should be substantive responses that keep the conversation going, not just I agree. Late posts are not accepted. And note that discussion forums don't necessarily show up on your Moodle calendar. These deadlines are the same every week though, so it's your responsibility to remember them. Set a reminder in your calendar, in your personal calendar if you need to. Tests are 45% of your grade. There's 1 test for each chapter covered, which makes 14 total. You can only take the test once, and each test will be 16 multiple choice and 1 to 2 short essay questions. And all of the tests are due Sundays at 11:55 p.m. And the tests cover readings as well as any additional material like videos that I post on Moodle. Please also make sure to familiarize yourself with the student expectations and course policies and read these over carefully. In particular, I do want to note that I realize that we're living in unprecedented times. If you're sick or caring for someone who's sick or affected by the pandemic in some way, please talk to me about accommodations so we can deal with those things before you get too far behind. Okay, so going back to our Moodle page, the other important thing that I want to make sure you look at is the course schedule, which looks like this. And here I've basically got it broken down by week, and it essentially parallels what's on Moodle. So it tells you what you need to do every week. I'd encourage you to print this off and check things off when you finish them. But alternatively, we also now have this course completion on Moodle. And so you can check off these items as you finish them. So in terms of this week, for the first week, you've got some introductory things to do. I've got a forum in which I'd like you to introduce yourself to everyone and reply to at least 2 other people's posts. And the other thing for this week is that syllabus quiz I mentioned before. Note that you must take the syllabus quiz in order to stay in the class. Because you're expected to work independently, it's crucial that you truly understand the course policies and procedures before starting the class. So do those things and then check them off on your course schedule. Next, we'll jump right into chapter 1. I did post a PDF of the first chapter just in case it takes people a little bit to get your textbook, but I will not be doing that in future weeks. So sometimes there will also be links to videos or other resources that I encourage you to look at as well, and then I'll have the PowerPoint for each week. For the first chapter, your assignment is to think about how teachers can create a developmentally appropriate activities for each stage. So I've listed 4 different stages, so infancy, early childhood, middle childhood, and early adolescence. You need to pick one of those stages. And for the one stage that you selected, provide examples of your personal development in physical, cognitive, and social emotional domains, and then describe an activity that a teacher might use for that age group you selected to improve physical, cognitive, and social emotional development. And then finally, you will have a test on chapter 1. So again, remember that your initial discussion forum posts are due on Thursdays at 11:55 p.m. and everything else is due on Sunday night at 11:55. That's the basic structure of how our class will work. If you have any questions, please contact me via email, and I look forward to hearing from you and reading your introductions on the Introduce Yourself forum.